Hey y'all, it's your girl Tynesha Renee here. Today we are going to get right into it because child, we got a lot to talk about today. But first, if you're new to the channel, this is Tynesha Talks, where we like to normalize transparency and have difficult conversations. And today, child, today's discussion is gonna be difficult. I watched a video by Miss Kendra Davis, aka The Crimson Cure, titled, "This is Why Black Women Lie About Body Count." For those of you who have never watched her channel, I highly recommend doing so. I had the pleasure of being on the panel with Revolt with Miss Kendra, and I really admire how she tells it like it is. She does not sugarcoat, okay? But she does it with poise and tact, and that's how I aspire to be. But in addition to that, a lot of the topics that she discusses are things that I wish my mother or other feminine figures in my life had taught me. I'm a strong believer in giving people their flowers, so I wanted to make sure I said that. The full video is about an hour long, so I'm gonna show you guys some clips that are relevant to today's discussion.
I don't think Black women understand truly why it matters, how it matters, and really how it plays into a lot of Black women not getting married. Modern women have a tendency to think that, and they'll try to say it, oh, well, my body count is not anybody's business. It's my personal business, what I do with my body. We have been conditioned to believe that that doesn't matter. That's nobody's business, and that it does not reflect on who we are as women, when it has everything to do with who we are as women. Inwardly, women fully understand the implication that surrounds her sexual history. She understands the implications of that. This is why she tried to hide it. She knows she is valued more when there are less sexual interactions, random interactions. She hasn't had a marriage. She in her 30s, never been married. So you've been out here for a minute having these random little jip-jap relationships and situationships you've been in and out. Where's your stability? She don't want you, the man, to value that part because she devalued it. She don't want you to pay attention to all them bodies back there because she's been reckless with her body. She has been reckless with her womb. She has been reckless with the connections that she has made sexually and her history. She's been reckless in her interactions with men. She know men value it, but she trying to deflect and have you not value it because she has not valued it.
There's so much to unpack here. But ladies, I ask that you allow what she said to really sink in and truly view this video with an open mind. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this video had me in my feelings for a little bit, but this is a safe space and we're gonna talk about it. And although I think that women will resonate with the bulk of my video, I do want both men and women to engage in this conversation, so I'm going to try to be as balanced as possible. All right, y'all, time to get real. This topic resonated with me because, as I've said in some of my other videos, my sexual history is not one that I am the most proud of. Before we move forward, let me clarify some things real quick, okay? I wasn't out here busting it open for everybody, having choo-choo trains ran on me, or just known in these streets for being promiscuous. That was never the case. But I did begin having sex at a young age, and I regret some, if not most, of my sexual encounters because I don't have a ring on my finger. I'm not in a serious long-term commitment, so where did it get me? Recently, I had a conversation with someone that I was dating at the time, and he asked me what my body count was. And my instant response was that I didn't feel comfortable with sharing that. And this is a pretty common response from women, right? We feel like it's not anybody's business, it's an invasion of privacy. But the real reason why I didn't want to share that information is because I know that when men ask you about your body count, they are asking you for the purposes of coming to a conclusion or forming some sort of judgment about you. And in my head, I didn't want all of the work that I've done on myself, all of the growth that I've made to be overshadowed by decisions that I made back when I didn't value myself as much as I do now. Now, before we go further, I want to pause and help you guys understand why women get frustrated when men ask about body count. So for one, we worry that if we disclose said information, that it's going to get brought up later on if there's an argument or you're just trying to be spiteful. That information is going to be thrown back in our face. It's kind of like how when men say that they are a bit hesitant to confide in women about some things because as soon as an argument happens, it gets thrown back up. That is what we worry about when we disclose our body count. And I've seen it before. It's like a very, very ugly thing to do. So I understand that. But two, the thing that frustrates me, I can't even speak for all women, is that men will ask about body count and then they don't follow up by asking you to get tested together or to see negative test results. So I know at that point that it has nothing to do with you being concerned about your health. You again are getting this information to form a judgment about me. And the third thing that we find frustrating is when men don't put our sexual partners into context. So let's say a woman lost her virginity 20 years ago, okay? And in that 20-year span, she's had a total of 30 partners. Now, a lot of men might hear, oh my God, 30 partners, and be like, yo, that's way too much. So then let's say you talk to another woman and this woman says she has like 5 to 8 partners. We'll use something lower, right? A lot of men will gravitate toward that woman who has been with 5 to 8 partners without asking about when these partners occurred. So again, if we have one woman who slept with 30 men in a 20-year span, what if you have this woman over here who slept with 5 to 8 men, but it was all within a 1 year or a 2-year span? Or what if some of those men were a threesome? You know what I'm saying? Then would that make you see her differently? But those aren't the type of questions that are being asked. I feel like a lot of men hear a number and then they just kind of go off the deep end and they create their own narrative about a woman's background. So with those things in mind, I totally understand why some women are hesitant to give an honest answer or to give an answer at all. But we have to go back to this dynamic of fearing judgment because that's what I think is happening a lot. You know, I will say that adulting has taught me that you shouldn't do things that you would be ashamed of speaking on. But we are human and it happens anyway. And to clarify, I am not condemning women who are sexually liberated and do who and whatever they please. But if that's the way that you're gonna move, you gotta own that. In most cases, when we are resistant to tell the truth, it's because 1, we fear judgment, 2, we're not proud of the answer, or 3, it's a combination of both. If you are moving in a manner that you'll be ashamed about if it came to light, should you be behaving in that manner? And you don't have to answer that for me, but I think that's something that we all should definitely be reflecting on. Shoot, I'll be completely honest. Back in my late teens, early 20s, I was not thinking about the long-term impacts of casual sex and situationships. Of course, we know about pregnancy and STDs, but there's a lot outside of that. Negative perception of self, empty voids, soul ties. Oh my gosh, we could do a whole video just on soul ties. The transfer of energy during sex is real. You can have sex with someone and feel like your energy and your mood is just off. Good sex with the right spirit should give you life, not leave you feeling drained. But I didn't think about any of that. But most of all, I was not making the connection that living in the moment versus being marriage-minded and thinking long-term would impact me years later. And I hate that we as Black women have gotten lost in this cycle. We aren't raised to be marriage-minded, but we live in a society that normalizes casual sex with multiple different people. And we're wondering why so many women who long for marriage and a family are being trapped in situationships and having babies with no good men. And my spirit is telling me that I need to say this again. So I want to reiterate that this is not coming from a place of judgment. So please do not come on here with the pick me comment. I can't judge any of y'all because this is my life. This is real shit. And the reality is that a lot of our families were not instilling these lessons in us before we started having sex. And now we're struggling. These are the discussions that I plan to have with my sons and my daughters. And I pray that this resonates with young women who can make corrections early in adolescence or avoid this vicious cycle altogether. Stop feeding into what you're hearing in songs about sleeping with men for bags and money. And stop trying to emulate these influencers who get tons of sexual attention from men, yet never end up in a healthy and committed relationship. And I think that if we moved with all of these thoughts in mind, we wouldn't have to lie about our body count or wouldn't feel ashamed of it, because we be moving in a manner that is aligned with our beliefs and what we want out of a relationship. Woo! This got real deep real quick, y'all. So men, hearing all of this, I'd really like to get insight from y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really conflicted on this body count question from your point of view, because I know that there are a lot of men out there who will shame or look down on a woman for having 5 partners. Meanwhile, they have 55 partners. Please do not hold me or any other woman to standards that you were not able to uphold yourself. And women, we really need to do a better job of canceling men who are like that. They're being hypocritical because we allow them to by still having sex with them. And that needs to stop. But that's beside the point. So anyway, back to the men's on this video, okay? Aside from that hypocritical type stuff, I can understand why you would want to know more about a woman's sexual history. But I challenge all of you to ask better questions. Instead of focusing on the number, ask her how she feels about her sexual past. Was she in a relationship with most of her partners? What has she learned from her past decisions? What are her thoughts on unprotected sex? What are her thoughts on casual sex? I think that these are all valid questions to ask when you're vetting someone. This is how you truly get to know someone before laying down with them. And if you truly valued yourself and your spiritual energy, you would be asking these questions to every woman, regardless of what her body count is. Whew. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I feel like this is a lot to take in, okay? So we gotta let this marinate. But I do want to close this video by asking the men a question. Once you find out a woman's body count, and it's a higher number, is that irreversible in your eyes? Is she forever deemed unwifeable because of her history? And if she is unwifeable, do you let her know that straight up? Or do you keep her around to use her for sex? Be honest in these comments, please, okay? I don't sugarcoat anything with y'all, so please do not sugarcoat for me and all the other women's on this video. And ladies, I honestly don't have a specific question for y'all today, but if something resonated with you in this video, or if something rubbed you the wrong way, please talk to me in the comments. I would love to know your thoughts. I know that this topic may be heavy for some of you, myself included, but these types of conversations are so important. We can't learn and grow from our mistakes if we fail to acknowledge that they were mistakes in the first place. I'm just in this state of wanting to do better and be a better woman, you know? And we can't do that as women without cleaning out the skeletons in our closet first. And I know it's painful, child. All these videos I've been posting are kind of painful, but it's so needed. All right, y'all, it's late. I'm about to hop off this. Please let me know what you're thinking in the comments. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and until next time, y'all, bye.